Welcome to the Midwest Education Technology Communities Podcast, otherwise known as METC. METC is a nonprofit organization based out of St. Louis, Missouri, with a mission to motivate, engage, transform, and connect all learners to advocacy, partnerships, and professional learning opportunities. METC is a premier affiliate of ISTE. To learn more about METC, follow us on social media at METC Ed Plus. You may also check out our website at metcedplus.org. METC is a program of Education Plus. To learn more about Education Plus, go to edplus.org. It is now time to begin our current episode. We thank you for listening and enjoy the learning. You have tuned in to the METC Podcast. This is another special episode for CS Week 2018. We're starting to wind down the week. We are in Thursday, December 6th, 2018, and we're starting to think about beyond Hour of Code or CS Week. And these next couple episodes will highlight the responses I received from our guests this week, revolving around the 3 questions I asked each one. Why coding? How do students respond to coding activities? And how can you integrate it within the curriculum? So each one of those questions will be highlighted, and the responses to those questions will be highlighted in the next few episodes. And the idea is that now that we're winding down the CS week, we really want to make sure we understand the importance of offering this to students year-round throughout the curriculum. Not every day, but think about different ways to embed coding or STEM, STEAM, computational thinking activities within your curriculum to engage your kids, to give them those experiences that will help them well down the line year after year. If you've got some teachers that maybe did take a chance and tried out Hour of Code this week, and they're not sure how to integrate it into the curriculum or why they should integrate it within the curriculum outside of this week, share these episodes with them to help them hear from educators in the classroom, in the schools, understanding why they do it. Hopefully that'll be of some assistance. So if you've not reached out and connected with each one of these guests, I highly recommend it. They do some amazing things, and they post them on Twitter. They're definitely worth checking out. I've been reviewing them constantly this week just because I interviewed them, and that's just what I do when I post things on social media for this podcast. And it just makes me wish I saw some of these posts before I talked with them, because they're doing amazing things, and they're definitely worth connecting with, reaching out, sending messages, asking questions, and they are a great resource available to you. So check them out there. So hopefully this will be helpful to you, and if not, pass it on to someone you feel it may be helpful for. I appreciate you listening and enjoy this episode. Why do you feel it's important to introduce students to coding?
Well, when I talk about coding, I talk about it even in a bigger aspect of just talking about STEM in general. And I am a firm believer that it's a culture and it shouldn't be just a class. And I really feel like as an educator, it's my job to help bridge that digital equity gap. And one of the ways that we can do that is through STEM. And I believe that STEM shouldn't be just something that is in an affluent community or just something that's considered for gifted students. But I think it should happen for all students, and it should also happen during the school day. So when you give students opportunities to take part in STEM or have exposure to STEM, they gain some knowledge and understanding of things that are foundational and things that they can use to become a more productive and creative student. I think that life learning shouldn't be passive, but it should be more of how you can provide something to society. So one way you can do that is through STEM and computer science and coding. And I believe if you engage students at a young age to take part in computational thinking as young as kindergarten, it can ultimately set them on a path to change their life. And you get these curious learners and creative learners, and it's really about problem solving, being creative, making connections. So I think that is one of the reasons why I am so passionate about providing this opportunity for students.
Coding teaches many skills from problem solving, critical thinking, and communication. it allows for such creativity as well, where they take a code that's already written and students can adapt it to meet their own needs. There also teaches cooperation because students are encouraged to work together to solve those problems. The best part is it teaches them how to plan and organize their thoughts in a clear and logical way. So I think that's pretty important.
I think because of the fact that this is the way the future is for these students, where you have them entering a workforce that will consist of jobs that don't even exist today. And you have so many different forms of communication that are unparalleled to how they used to be. And, things are moving so quickly nowadays that you want students to be prepared for the future at an earlier age because of how fast things are changing, that they need to be able to adapt with it. And before, you could introduce someone to what they could be doing as a career in high school or in college. But now, you really need to introduce it to them at an earlier age because there's so much more to it, and it's evolving so quickly that you want them to not be introduced to these things for the first time when they're already, in high school.
All right, well, that brings this episode to a close. Hopefully you've gotten some good answers to why coding. The guests this week did an awesome job sharing their thoughts and ideas around the reasons why we should be introducing students or integrating coding into the curriculum more than just this week alone. We talked about with Patricia about it's not just a class, it's a culture. She has an open call to equity, and it should not be something that's done after school or at home with just the kids. It should be done during the school, so all students have an ability to access this important skill. The skills that it provides can provide a great foundation for students to be a more productive students overall. And so I think she made some good points there. Matt, of course, brought up being good problem-solving skills, communication, the ability just to be able to create things. So many jobs nowadays require some form of creation, and students get stuck with that because they're so used to the way we've built the system, and it doesn't usually include a lot of creating. And so coding and the activities that go with STEM allow us to do that. And Garrett mentioned about how this is just the way the future is going, and it's changing so fast and so rapidly, and it's getting so complex with all that change that it's important to introduce these topics at an earlier age and introduce them often to integrate and to make sure that students understand that they are related and that they do fit together. And so great points by all three of the guests, and I greatly appreciate them joining me for each of those original podcasts, but also for sharing their thoughts on these questions. So that answers the why question. The next episode that comes out tomorrow on Friday will help us help remind us about how students respond to these coding activities. How do they react to them? And so we've asked why. Okay, so now that we asked why and we do it, how do students respond to the activities themselves? And so that'll be the next episode there. Again, the responses from those three guests to those questions will be on tomorrow's episode. So thanks for tuning into this one. If you've got some teachers that are on the fence on introducing coding into the curriculum, share this with them, help them understand the importance of it, and then connect with each of these guests to see and for yourself what they're doing with coding activities, with STEM and science, technology within the curriculum, and start embedding it now. So thank you very much for checking us out. Be sure to check the show notes, metcedplus.org, on all the previous episodes for the links for everything that Patricia, Matt, and Garrett talked about. So thanks again. Until next episode, have a good one, everybody. Thank you for listening to the Midwest Education Technology Communities Podcast, otherwise known as METC. To learn more about METC, check out our website at metcedplus.org or follow us on social media at METC Ed Plus. To learn more about Education Plus, go to edplus.org.